Thank you for joining us today to explore future-proofing your CRM and how to stay ahead after HubSpot Insights ends coming up in March. I'm Sam Anderson. I'm CEO of Origin 63. We're a HubSpot solutions partner, and we're helping teams maximize what they can get out of HubSpot for their marketing, sales, and service teams, especially when it comes to the retention and the growth of your revenue. So let's get into it. So first of all, what is HubSpot Insights and what are you actually going to be losing come March 17th? Well, HubSpot Insights is probably something you've never really paid attention to until now when we're no longer going to have it. So come March 17th, all those lovely insights that we got on the left-hand side of your company records are going away. So what does that mean? Well, today, when you put in a new company and when a URL is seen for that company, HubSpot automatically uses its own database to basically enrich that company record. It'll add in the company name, which is huge, but also things like annual revenue, the description of the company, the website URL, the web technologies, and the industry, for example. These were critical information for most of our sales and marketing teams, specifically for segmentation. Now, not just for segmentation of marketing lists, but also segmentation of leads coming in and having to route them to your salespeople as owners. The reason that this is so important to pay attention to is that when new companies are going to be coming into your CRM after March 17th, you will no longer have any of this information, which means that your records are going to be outdated and missing critical information to run your company's infrastructure. Okay, that sounds scary, but what else is there? Like, what do we do about it? So this is where Breeze Intelligence comes in. You may have heard about this from HubSpot. It's kind of been scattered throughout HubSpot's ecosystem up until basically now. It is running behind the scenes. It has a lot of different tools and services. So what can you do with it and why is it important? Well, today I'm going to talk through a lot of the different features that Breeze gives you. And Breeze does also include the agents, the co-pilot. We'll talk about that. But what we're specifically speaking about in this particular webinar is Breeze Intelligence. Breeze Intelligence is the Clearbit acquisition brought to life within HubSpot. So HubSpot actually acquired Clearbit last year, and it absorbed its technology and its database, which was used for enriching lists to begin with, into the CRM, hence the birth of Breeze Intelligence. So basically what this allows you to do is automatically enrich records, companies, and contacts inside your CRM, which is incredibly important after March 17th when those insights go away. If we don't do Breeze Intelligence, what happens? Well, you're going to have to make sure that you are manually updating those records or you're using an external source to feed those record information into your CRM. But one of the benefits of Breeze Intelligence is that it's going to automatically continue to enrich your records after you use Breeze on that record. So let's talk a little bit about what that looks like. So again, before Breeze, what was happening was teams were either relying on these company insights, which generally weren't enough, or sales teams were wasting a lot of time, not just sales, but also marketing, manually updating company records with details that they needed to be able to work that opportunity or to prospect into that company. What was happening was that we were having a lot of issues with data accuracy, data cleanliness, and 60% of your CRM data decays over a matter of time, right? So with Breeze, what HubSpot has done is given us the ability to automatically, instantly enrich those records and really keep the future of our CRM clean. So it's not just the data piece of the company records, but we're now also getting contact records, which we never had before. So titles, seniority, the information that you need to be able to segment and feed more personalized information to those contacts. Everything is coming with Breeze Intelligence. And that's kind of what this looks like here. So again, no more manual updates. What Breeze is going to be able to do, and actually I should say, this is what Breeze is doing today. If you bring Breeze into your CRM, What it will work off of is amount of credits. So you will choose a tier. I'll talk about that a little bit in a moment to enrich a certain number of records on a monthly basis. So you have settings for contacts and companies. You can automatically enrich if you would like to, but I'm actually going to show you what it looks like too to just choose a certain record to enrich in your ecosystem. And once you actually enrich that record, HubSpot will continuously and automatically keep that record updated. Why is that so important? Well, if a company information changes, which happens, less frequently than a contact, which we'll talk about, if company information changes, HubSpot will update it. But if a contact's information changes, let's say they had a job update, their role changed, then HubSpot will enrich that record when that database sees and ingests that information. So when there is a new data becomes available, we get the new data automatically. No more having to go and scrape lists from the CRM and put them into Zoom and pull those down and put them back into HubSpot. HubSpot's going to do that work for us. Now, the only thing that HubSpot will not give you is contact information. So you're not going to get emails and other types of phone numbers from Breeze. You're still going to need things like Zoom, et cetera, to pull that information. But once that data is in, Breeze is going to be able to use that information to help you build deeper profiles on people and companies. Let's take a little detour quickly and show you a little bit of Breeze inside your portal. So inside my portal, on my left-hand side, you probably have seen this as well, this little star-like icon. This is where you can find a lot of information on Breeze today. So if you actually click that, what you're going to actually find is a nice little overview of what Breeze is. And this is what I was saying with saying that Breeze inside of HubSpot is really their full AI mechanism. Breeze itself actually composites of Copilot, agents, and intelligence, which is what I was just speaking about. So Copilot and agents, they're automatically given to you with your HubSpot subscription. You do not have to pay to get those features, which, by the way, is a huge benefit of having HubSpot because every other software out there right now is actually making you purchase an AI add-on to utilize these features. So kudos, HubSpot. Thanks for making it easy for us. So Copilot is what you've been seeing for a while inside of HubSpot. This is like your ChatGPT-esque type of tool, but is also now available in workflows. I'm not going to get too deep in those particular features today. I think we'll do a whole nother session about utilizing Breeze Copilot and Breeze AI inside of automation in the future. But that is available and it is existing for all people today. And same with agents. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. Agents are specific to your subscription. So depending on what you have, whether that's sales or service or marketing or content, what you're seeing here are the different types of agents that are available. Most people have been exposed to AI language so far, so forgive me if you know this already, but just for the benefit of anybody who might kind of be dabbling for the first time, agents are specifically think of it as like a rule set of AI that does a specific job. So for instance, if you have Service Hub Pro or Service Hub Enterprise, you get Customer Agent. Customer Agent is that AI-powered chatbot that we've been looking for a long time that can allow you to have like real-time conversations with your customers, but not have to have agents involved in those conversations. And that's fed in by like knowledge-based articles. But also Customer Agent now also has quick responses to emails and has a lot of other really interesting tools that are making it more efficient for customer service and customer support reps, people who are answering tickets or chats within HubSpot. And that's just one example, right? So we also have Social Agent, Prospecting Agent that you can see here, as well as Content Agent. All of these are included within your subscription listed down here under each agent. But again, Today's real discussion is about intelligence. And the reason being is that, again, March 17th, you are losing those beautiful insights that you needed to be able to segment your companies and your contacts. And so Breeze Intelligence is an add-on. It does have 3 different tiers. But with this, it becomes data enrichment, which is what we've been discussing here. Buyer intent, which I'll talk a little bit more about today, but that's actually a really cool tool as well. And also a form shortening intelligence, basically to use enrichment to shorten your forms to lower that barrier for somebody to receive that ebook or fill out an inquiry form, but you still get the data that you're looking for in order to qualify and again segment. So what does this actually look like when you're like looking at a record? So I have my company profile up, and because insights exist today, on the left-hand side, I have all that information, like the web technologies, for example. And you may have noticed at some point when you hover over that information, it'll say filled from the HubSpot Insights database. Now, to our knowledge, come March 17th, if you already have data existing in your portal, it is not going to just disappear, which is good. But this means any new new records added to your portal will no longer have this information. So I actually bought Breeze for our company. I added it to our subscription because I saw a lot of value in this ability to make sure that we are enriching the records that we're bringing in, but also to keep them updated. So when I go to actions, I have an enrich record. So when I click this, what you can actually see are the properties that can be enriched today. And so I can choose to enrich these properties, or I can say, actually, I don't want to overwrite that information, right? So what you're seeing when you do this manually, not automatically, you can turn on automatic enrichment across the board. I'll show you how. But this will give you both the current value as well as the source. And then the source, as you can see here, is HubSpot's company insights, HubSpot's data insights. And I can overwrite that. So as soon as I click enrich record, HubSpot's going to automatically work for me. And now information that I hadn't had before, like the number of employees, will be here on the left-hand side. So I didn't have this before. And now if you look at the details here, you can see that Breeze Intelligence was actually updated here. And then it will continue to update that information as it gets it. The reason this is also really cool, okay, great, data enrichment aside, it's the intelligence aspect. So this is where we're getting really, really beautiful updated Breeze Intelligence enrichment data that's giving us information about what people from this company are doing inside of our website. So of course, this is my company, my people. So I'm not surprised to see a lot of knowledge base articles and things of that nature. But imagine if this was a prospect and we had several people that we were targeting with different sales campaigns, marketing campaigns. I can come in here and I could look as a sales rep and see how many people have been coming to our sites and what pages are they looking at. Why is this so important? Well, if there's also a part of Breeze where we're looking at buyer intent, and that intent data is really focused on the website pages that people are visiting, as well as other aspects that are being enriched by the data. So the qualification metrics, basically, your things like your revenue, the type of industry, however you look at what a lead is qualified, then you can put in as your intent. And I'll show you a little bit about that today. But I wanted to give you kind of this idea of what these insights can give you when you have this data enrichment. And all of this information that you're seeing in the middle here is available within lists It can be available within automation. So these are all properties that are just being automatically enriched for you on an ongoing basis. So you can see how powerful having this information on an ongoing cadence can be to the segmentation and the health of your data inside of HubSpot. So let's take a look at something else here. Okay, so now you've seen a company record. Let's look at a contact record. What can it do? So I have somebody in here. I only have her email address and I don't have any other information on her. So again, I can go to Actions, Enrich Record, and HubSpot is going to look up so you've seen what it can do for a contact record. What does it look like when we do a company record? So I can come here, whoops, and under my action section again, I've got my enrich record. I'm going to select. So I gave you a tiny preview of what that enrichment looks like and what that data looks like too, right? So that was where I was talking a little bit more about buyer intent. Buyer intent is really built off of your particular criteria, right? So it uses the HubSpot tracking code and it matches website visits with known company IPs to enable the ability to filter basically by target market, visit frequency, pages viewed, to prioritize engagement and figure out exactly who you should be going after. So people with high buyer intent. We've never had something like this inside of HubSpot before. It is built off of Breeze Intelligence, as I mentioned previously. And I think it's really interesting to see this intent funnel, for example. We don't have this set up right now, otherwise I'd show you. We just got Breeze Intelligence like last week. But it is a really, really cool tool that I know several of our customers have been using. And the other thing that's really interesting too is that we are able to track, as you guys saw a little bit in that middle column of the company, we can track what our target market customers are doing, our target market prospects. We can see what kind of visits they're having, how many visits, what pages. And again, why is this so important? Well, outside of data enrichment, one of the things that our CRM should be doing for us is actually working to find us high intent buyers. We want to be able to target our marketing and our sales efforts to those that are more likely to purchase from us in order to have the best possible revenue results, right? But I also think for those teams who might be listening to this who are customer success agents or have a customer success motion for renewal, upsells, cross sells, I think this data is also going to be super powerful for current customers. Imagine if you could see what all of your existing customers were looking at on your website. Yes, we have that today, right? Like you could dig into the history of individual people. But what we don't have is that ability to take all of the intent data together and give us a better understanding of what we maybe should be selling to people based off of their behaviors and their activity. So this is a really cool part that I intend to use myself. And then the form shortening, as we talked a little bit about. So you have a lot of opportunities here with the form shortening. But again, essentially it removes unnecessary form fields. So in the past, we've had to ask people like, what are your email? What's your job title? What's your company URL? What's your industry? Like, you know, all that information that we need for segmentation, we had to ask it. Well, now we don't need to do that. We only really need to see relevant fields that we can't get with the data enrichment from Breeze Intelligence. And it just lowers that barrier to entry. So it's just a really nice way of being able to provide a better conversion path for your prospects on your website. So you saw all this. What do? Well, first of all, if you're interested in learning more about Breeze Intelligence and what it can do for you and your team, our team would be more than happy to talk with you and also work with you and HubSpot to get you the best possible deal on Breeze. And so, but from there, once you think, you know, I do want to add Breeze, especially after March 17th, we are suggesting it to everybody. By the way, the middle tier of Breeze is like $150 a month or something like that. So it's not a huge barrier to entry in terms of the cost. And I think that there's tons of benefits that you get each month because of that. So if you're wondering, like, is this going to really make sense for me? Ask yourself a couple questions. First and foremost, do we need data to be able to segment and prioritize our companies and prospects? Especially when it comes to the marketing to sales handoff, do you need specific information to be able to route those leads to the right sales rep, either by territory or by industry, et cetera? If you no longer had that information that we are getting from HubSpot Insights, what would happen for your company? What would be the effect? And also, what kind of firmographic information are you missing today that you would love to have? If it is technographics, if it is information around the industry and the location of those companies, and the titles of people that are accurately updated on a regular basis, Breeze Intelligence might really fit for you. The other thing I really want to put out there, and again, I couldn't get into it too much on this video because it is a beta currently as I speak about this before March 17th. There is the ability now to bake Breeze Intelligence into your automation, into your workflows. That is going to open up a huge world of possibilities because we're basically baking in ChatGPT, if you think of it, inside of automation. So instead of building out 20 different if-then branches, we can actually use Breeze Intelligence inside of HubSpot to segment our leads, to enrich our data, and then decide what do we do with this information. I think the possibilities are endless, but you have to have Breeze Intelligence in order to use Breeze Intelligence within the workflow. So I think we're at the tip of the iceberg here. We are just about seeing what can be done with Breeze Intelligence, and it's only going to get better. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to email me at sam@origin63.com. Feel free to talk to your team if you're already a customer. And we would love to talk to you about what Breeze Intelligence can do for your team, what it's going to do for you now, but also what it can do in the future. Again, there's so many amazing benefits of having Breeze within HubSpot. It's really a no-brainer. So we would love to help you get that set up and love to talk you through what that journey looks like. Thanks for joining me today. Love to hear all your questions.